Hey everyone, it is May the 26th, and I'm a little tickled at myself. I get tickled at myself a lot. But I remember the first time I came across reading the Psalms, the very first time, not chronologically, but when I was reading my New Living Translation Bible that I've talked about before. And I came to Psalm 127 and I saw the word sleep and the word love, and I was like, yes, yes, he loves me, he's going to get me sleep. Because this was a time when Griffin wasn't sleeping because he had a milk allergy that we didn't know about. And anyways, so it was 22, oh my goodness, 22 years ago. Wow, 22 years ago. That's a long time. But I remember just looking at that verse and not looking at the context of everything around it. And I just love that the Lord continues to will and to work in my life and in the life of believers. I just love that about him. He never gives up on us. He never stops. We try really hard to turn our back on him and to do things our own way, and he just patiently waits for us to come back. And so I just love him so much. And as I was sitting down also just thinking of that, I was thinking, I don't really like the title of this lesson. I put the notes up and then I come record, and I'm sitting here looking at my notes going, yeah, I don't really like that. Because here's the thing. I really want to call this something like spinning your wheels or caught in the hamster wheel of life or something like that, because the bottom line of what I believe the psalmist is trying to tell us, which is Solomon, by the way, which some argue, is it really Solomon, or do we just call him the teacher because we don't really know whether he wrote all of Proverbs or all of Ecclesiastes and all of Proverbs? We don't know, but who cares? But anyways, just thought I'd throw that out for trivia. But he's making a point here. I mean, it could be that he is talking about a literal house with a literal family, not little house, but literal house with a literal family, because he talks about children and all of that. And it could be that he is also could be referring to spiritual labor, labor for the Lord. So I believe for us, we certainly can, those of us who have children and who are in a home, have had a home, doesn't matter what the home looks like. It could be, a little A-frame out in the middle of the woods somewhere that you and your husband built with your own two hands, and it could be, some big house on the side of some mountain somewhere. It could be on the beach. It could be a camper. It could be a trailer. It could be a tiny house. Don't matter. The point is, I believe what he's saying is not necessarily the size of the house or the materials it's made of, not necessarily, but the fact that God has got to be a part of it. And I certainly think that this is applicable to a spiritual house, our spiritual house, the temple of God. I certainly think that this is also applicable to any work, any building. And when I say building, I mean building project, not necessarily a house. Any of that, anything we do for the Lord, if God is not a part of it, we are just spinning our wheels. And when we have stayed too long in a place where that project's completed or God's not ready He's ready for us to move on, we're just spinning our wheels unless God is part of it. I love what Spurgeon, I quote him a lot. I love what he says here. The psalmist does not bid the builder cease from laboring. It's really important because there's a school of thought that Christians, number one, shouldn't have to suffer. Number two, that we really shouldn't have to work hard. That things should just come to us. There's nothing scriptural about that, absolutely. The opposite is true. So we are going to have to labor. Okay, nor does it suggest that the watchmen should neglect their duty, nor that men show their trust in God by doing nothing. Oh, God said he was going to do this in his word. He promised me he was going to take care of me according to his riches and in glory. So I'm just going to sit here and let him do it. And there's a lot of people who live under that school of thought too. Yeah, that's not scriptural either. Nay, he supposes that they will do all they can do. And then he forbids their fixing their trust in what they have done, and assures them that all creature effort will be in vain unless the Creator puts forth his power. How often do we try to do something for God, or even not for God, just because it's something we're doing, which actually everything we should do should have God involved, but in our own power, in our own strength. And then we try to watch over it and hoard over it, or we just like, okay, hands off, whatever. That's not the right approach either. Everything that we do in our lives, and the older I get, the more I realize this, has got to be fueled by the power of God, and it's got to be for the kingdom of God. Otherwise, I'm just spinning my wheels. I'm wasting my energy, my time, my talent. It's nothing. Oh, we might have an end product, but not what God could have done, what the product could be had we followed in alignment with him, had we sought his will, his way, his plan, his purpose, his power to accomplish it. So this is really kind of, to me, a little slap on the back of the hand here that says, don't go rogue. Don't go rogue doing something. And then don't sit and do nothing. Work in tandem with God, the Creator, Yahweh, the Lord. Work in tandem with him. He's so fun to work with. He really is. And when you are working closely with him, and you are talking with him and communicating with him every single day about every little thing, you're going to know exactly what to be doing and what not to be doing. You will. And there will be a lot less wheel spinning and a lot more accomplished and finished work in the kingdom of God if we would include him or seek him and include ourselves in what he's doing. Bruce Wilkinson said, find what God is doing and find where God is working and join him there. That's really good counsel. It really is. And I just put the fun definitions of unless and vain just because that's what I do. Nerdy things like that. The psalmist knows that it's essential to and should be part of that God is essential to and should be part of work. And anything done apart from God is worthless and unsuccessful. Look at that definition of vain today. Take a look at that. And then when we leave God out of our building, our sleep is going to be restless, life is going to be anxious, and our blessings are going to be missed. I don't want to miss any blessings. I don't want to have any anxiety in my life, and I certainly need my sleep. I really do. So I just wrote a note to myself, my something to do. Don't do anything apart from God. It's a total waste of my time, talent, and energies. Not to mention, it's not nearly as fun to go rogue and do something by myself as it is to work in tandem with what he wants done, willed through me, and supernaturally powered within me. I think you probably feel the same way. We'll see you next time on Read Through the Word.